Good evening, Titan Nation. How's everybody doing? Welcome to a live edition of Titans and Truth. I am your host, Chris, aka Blue Enforcer, and we have a very good episode for you this evening. As ladies and gentlemen, football is back. Football, regular season football is back and it is ready to roll. And we are here live on YouTube right now. This is a live show. This is not a recording. This is live as it is happening right now. So as more people come in, make sure y'all comment any questions that you want to have, any questions as far as for Pick My Brain. We're going to have that segment in a bit as well. So definitely tune into that. And we'll definitely go into the show in just a bit. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in. And make sure y'all follow me on Facebook. Follow me on Facebook at TNT Enforcers. That is the Titans and Truth fan page. Also, and you can also follow me at on Instagram at Titans_N_Truth. You can follow me there, and on Twitter at TNT Blue Enforcer on there. And that's where I'll send all my stuff on Twitter if I do any tweets or anything like that. And last but not least, check out the website, www.titansandtruth.wixsite.com. /Titans and Truth. I'll be updating some material there. I'm actually going to have that website updated tomorrow. So I'll have all that stuff updated. This show will be on there as well. And I'm definitely trying to catch up as much as I can, get it ready for the regular season. But it is here. The regular season is here. We have the final 53-man roster, and the preseason, thank God it's over, even though it was 0-4. But now it is time to get to some real football. Week 1 is upon us. And actually, the first game of the NFL season kicks off in about 21 hours from now when the Philadelphia Eagles and the Atlanta Falcons tangle it up in the first game of the year. I believe that is on Fox, or it might be on NBC. I can't remember, but it'll be on cable TV. The whole world will get to watch that game as we begin the 2018 NFL season. With the 53-man roster, as y'all saw on my last show last week, as I was talking with Teron Davenport, Titans beat writer for ESPN.com, which you could check out. You could go back and check out that show right here on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. So press that subscribe button below and go ahead and subscribe, and you could go back and watch that show of my projections for the 53-man roster. And as you can see, the 53-man roster is set, and I actually got 50 out of the 53 guys correct on the roster. So I, fell short by about 3 people, and I'm actually going to break that down for you right now. With the quarterbacks, got them right with the 2 with Mariota and Gabbard. Luke Falk, I thought was going to be on the practice squad, ends up he got claimed by the Miami Dolphins, surprisingly. So I'm pretty sure Miami is definitely going to try to divulge some secrets from him as far as the Tennessee Titans offense is concerned. But I wouldn't really worry too much about that because, Luke Falk didn't do very well executing the offense. So I wouldn't necessarily put too much stock. I wouldn't put too much stock into Luke Falk being a part of the Miami Dolphins. Running backs I got right with Derrick Henry, Dion Lewis, and David Fluellen. Dalen Dawkins ended up on the practice squad. Kind of hate Akron Watley didn't get on the practice squad, but I do understand why. The wide receivers, of course, we got Corey Davis, Rashard Matthews, Taywan Taylor, Tajay Sharp. We got Darius Jennings. And I had Nick Williams making the team, but instead he got cut due to injury. Cameron Baston ended up making the team, and I was shocked by that. I honestly would have thought that either Jordan Vesey or Deontay Burnett or Devin Ross would have made it over him. I honestly thought Deontay Burnett would be the guy, but they decided to go with Baston because Baston can bring some special teams help on the side. So he doesn't necessarily have to be as a wide receiver, but he'll be helping on returning kicks and probably helping on punt and kick coverage as well. And so I think definitely that's something that we'll definitely see about that as far as the receiver. Mama's boy, I see you coming in. I'm going to answer that question in just a bit, so I'll definitely get to that question. So hold your thoughts. I'm definitely going to answer that question for you. At tight end, I had Delaney Walker, Jonnu Smith, Luke Stocker, and I had Anthony Ferkser on the team. So they had the 4 tight ends correct. Offensive line, I had them carrying 8, but instead they carried 9. And so they had Lawan Conklin, Dennis Kelly, Quinn Spain, Josh Klein, Ben Jones, Corey Levin, Kevin Pamphill, and a surprise, Aaron Stinney. Aaron Stinney made the team as the 9th offensive lineman. And I didn't really get to see a lot of Stinney or Pamphill, but from what I was hearing when they were in the game, it wasn't very good. But I think they both have some upside. So I think that is why both of those guys made the team. And so got 8 of the 9 offensive linemen right. So in all, on offense, I got 22 out of 24 correct, with the exception of Cameron Baston and Aaron Stinney making the team. So I think that's pretty good on my part on that. Moving over to the defensive side, I had them carrying 5 defensive linemen, but one of the 5 got cut. Julius Wormsley got cut, and Matt Dickerson ended up making the team. I didn't really see a lot from him that I was very impressed with, but hey, he made the team. So I think John Robinson sees some upside with him being a little bit younger. Julius Wormsley is up there in age. He's, past 25, 26 years old. So I think that may be why he did not make the team. I honestly thought he should have made the team, or he could have at least been on the practice squad. And so I kind of feel bad for him on that one. But joining Dickerson, of course, Jarrell Casey, Daquan Jones, Benny Logan, and Austin Johnson. So I got 4 of the 5 correct. Linebackers, I had 12 linebackers making this team, but they actually ended up keeping 11. Robert Spillane ended up on the practice squad, so I was glad he made the practice squad. But of course, Arakpo Morgan, Harold Landry, newcomer Kamale Correa, Aaron Wallace, Sharif Finch. Sharif Finch made the team. So I was very proud of that. Rashawn Evans, Will Compton, Jayon Brown, and of course, the captain, Wesley Woodyard, making it. So I definitely like our linebacking core with all of those picks. And then at corner, I got all 5 right. Butler, Malcolm Butler, Dory Jackson, Logan Ryan, LaShawn Sims. We knew that was going to happen. And the last one being Kenneth Durden, who came in. They signed him after the first game, and he ended up doing pretty well to where he ended up making the team out of nowhere. So Kenneth Durden definitely was a surprise coming in, but also there was room with, of course, Ty Smith and Kalen Reed going on IR. So that left some room for, we were wondering who the 5th corner was going to be, but it ended up being Kenneth Durden. It might have been it might have been a steal, if you ask me. So we're going to find that out as the season goes on. I think he'll definitely help on special teams as well. At safety, I had 5. I had safeties with Byard, Vaccaro, Crookshank, Kendrick Lewis, and Brendan Trawick. And of course, Trawick is for special teams. Although Kendrick Lewis did not practice today, he did make the roster. And obviously, Byard and Vaccaro are going to be the starters coming on Sunday. And that is, of course, the 53-man roster, along with Suckup, Brett Kern, Bo Brinkley for special teamers. So I got 28 out of 29 right on the defense and special teams, which ended up me getting 50 out of 53. So quickly, I'm going to talk about the 3 guys that I didn't think would make the team that did. First off, Cameron Baston. Cameron Baston is a quick wide receiver. I did get to see him in limited action. He did have a couple of nice kickoff returns, and he was actually very fluid as a receiver as well. He caught a lot of passes that came his way, and he's a guy that if he gets into open space, he could be very quick, probably like a Taywan Taylor-esque type player. So he may get on the field a little bit. I doubt it. He could be one of those guys that is inactive on game days. So, you have your 53, but you have your 45. You have your 45 for game days. And so I think he could be one of those guys that's not active on game days. And, Stinney and Dickerson could be the other two guys that could be inactives on game day a lot. But Stinney, I didn't really know what to make of that. I think, you could have probably kept maybe Xavier Su'a-Filo or something like that. He started for the Texans, even though he wasn't great. But maybe I think they may see some upside with him as well as with Matt Dickerson. So that is definitely something that we're definitely going to try to look out for and see if these guys provide some depth for this Tennessee Titans team. But I mean, hey, I'm definitely happy for Sharif Finch. I think Sharif Finch deserved to make the team. He did very well to make this team, and I'm proud of him. I'm proud of him. Undrafted free agent out of Temple, and he was the highest paid undrafted free agent. So I knew they were going to definitely try to keep him on the team as much as possible. And so I am definitely very happy for him. I like the roster as a whole, and I think that we have a lot of talent. And there's still a few questions that need to be asked. We got to see if these receivers step up. We got to see how they're going to do it with the corners. I think on the depth chart, they have Malcolm Butler on one side, and they have it split between Adoree Jackson and Logan Ryan on the other side. So one of them will be on the outside. The other ends up playing in the nickel slot, depending on matchup. So I think a lot of times, it could be where it's Malcolm Butler, Logan Ryan on the outside. Then in the nickel, they bring in Adoree Jackson and Logan Ryan goes inside. Or you could also say that they could have it where it's Malcolm Butler and Adoree Jackson, and then on third down, bring Logan Ryan in on the outside, Adoree on the inside. So I think that's definitely something that they could definitely do with Byard and Vaccaro. I think they could be interchangeable as well. Vaccaro could play some free safety, also very versatile. And a lot of times with this defense, and I'm going to get to this in the preview of the Dolphins game, is that a lot of times with this defense, you're probably going to see guys, interchanging. Like when Rashaan Evans is in the game, he may sometimes be not only playing in the middle, but also could be coming off the edge as well. And there could be a lot of time where there's 4 pass rushers on the line. It's not like it'll be like a, Jarrell, Benny Logan, Austin Johnson type combination. It could be where it's Orakpo, Casey, Morgan, Landry coming off of the line. Or it could be where it's Landry, Finch, Orakpo, and Casey down inside. So they could definitely do a lot of different things with the outside linebackers and the defensive line. So that's something that I'm really, really looking forward to on that. But before we do get into the preview of the Miami Dolphins, I want y'all to tell me what you think. Did I get it right with my picks on the roster? What do y'all think of Aaron Stinney and Dickerson and Cameron Baston making the team? What did y'all think about that? I apologize for that little slip up right there. But before we get into the Dolphins matchup, I want to give a shout out to my cousin, Miss LaCrystal Cleveland of Kraft Gatsby Creations. As y'all can see, I have my Titans and Truth shirt on. I have it on ready to go. And this was made by Kraft Gatsby Creations. And you could get a shirt exactly like this. You could get one just like this. I got my information on the back. You've seen them. And you could definitely check her out. As a matter of fact, I'm going to stand up for you so you can see it a little bit clearly. As y'all can see right here, this is the front of the shirt. And then y'all can see the back of the shirt right there. So there it is with my information on it. And so if you didn't really see that very well, of course there are pictures up on the channels and on the pages. So definitely check her out, hook her up. And if you want to get a shirt just like this, you could get in contact with her And of course, it's under LaCrystal Cleveland on Facebook. If you're really serious about doing that, give her hit her up and let her know that Chris of Titans and Truth sent you. And so you could do that. You could go under Kraft Gatsby Creations on a Facebook page. I'm going to put that information out there as well. Also, check her out on @CraftGatsby_creations on Instagram as well. You can see some of her great work that she has done. She's done it for, birthdays, for weddings. Also, she did some stuff for her dad, who is a big Cowboys fan. But she did something for him. She made like a bathrobe for him, and it had like the Dallas Cowboys star and his name on it. So she could definitely do some amazing things. So y'all check her out at Kraft Gatsby Creations on Facebook, on Instagram, and check her out under LaCrystal Cleveland. I give a shout out to my cousin. I love you. And we're going to go on from there, but definitely check her out, y'all. Definitely give us some support and everything. And what I may do later this season, maybe for Christmas, I'll have an extra shirt made. I'll get that made. Maybe I'll have a contest or something like that. And some of the best, I may give away a couple of Titans and Truth shirts and stuff like that towards the end of the year, maybe for Christmas or something like that. So stay tuned for that. And that's something that I may do very special for everybody here tonight. So let's move on from here to the Miami Dolphins. And this is a big matchup for a lot of different reasons. A, it's the first game of the year. You want to get off to a good start. And number two, your first 4 games are not easy. Not easy at all. Because you got Miami, you're at Houston, you got Miami, you got Houston at home for your home opener. Then you go to Jacksonville, and then you're home against the defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. So that's going to be a tough stretch of games right there that you really got to get off to a good start with. And so that's something that is going to be very, very important. And I wanted to get to right quick. Of course, we're going to interchange and mix in, pick my brain as I'm talking about the Dolphins. Mama Boy comes and says, do you think we should let Marcus test the market in free agency? Because I don't see any team giving him $100 million. I believe that works in our favor to get him on a reasonable contract. Mama Boy, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. Somebody's going to pay Marcus Mariota $100 million because, I mean, that's pretty much the going rate right now. Why not? It probably should be us. We groomed them up and everything. I mean, this is a prove-it year for Marcus Mariota, without a doubt. I think he has a lot to prove. Last year probably left a sour taste in his mouth, and he is a workaholic. He's a perfectionist. He does not appreciate the type of season that he had before. So he's going to want a better year. This is the year to prove it. We've already picked up his 5th-year option. So he's already going to get paid around $20 million next year anyway. And so you already had Jimmy Garoppolo getting a contract for $137 million. And then Aaron Rodgers just broke the bank last week getting major money. So, I mean, the going rate is around $100 million at the very least, and probably in a lot of people's eyes, that would be insulting to a quarterback for just $100 million. Right now, the going rate is probably about $120 million at that going so far. So, I mean, $25 million a year is about the floor of where you're going to start in negotiations. So if Marcus has a good year, he's going to be at 25, close to $30 million a year. There's really going to be no if, ands, or buts or any way around it, unfortunately. So that's what we're definitely looking at with Marcus. I mean, I think he's a team player, and he'll try to play under a reasonable deal, but most likely he's going to get paid. He's going to get major paid. And there's really not much we could do about it because that's how the market is. That's the quarterback, the most important position. They're going to get paid the most. So that's how it basically will happen there. Let's see. I'm trying to see if there's any other questions. And I see Shane's coming out saying that Marcus will throw 36 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. That's not a pretty bad prediction. I don't know if he'll go 36, but I think he could probably hit 30. And, he's got to keep it under 10 interceptions. Mama's boy, I don't think he'll throw 15 picks again. I absolutely don't think so. So I don't think that's going to happen there. But with this game with Miami, the regular season is finally here. Miami coming in off of a 6-10 record last year. They're coming back with Ryan Tannehill coming back from a ACL knee injury where he was out the entire season. They had to go to Jay Cutler. So Tannehill's coming back. You got Laramie Tunsil is finally in at left tackle where, they always thought that he was going to be. Jawan James is on the other side. So they have a pretty good stable of young tackles on both sides. And then, of course, you got that menacing Cameron Wake, who a few years ago, if you remember, under Ken Wisenkamp, that idiot of a coach who got Marcus almost killed in that game because Wake lit him up for 4 sacks in that game. He's still in there at 36 years of age, and he is still just as good now as he is then. And on the other side, they, of course, got Robert Quinn. They picked him up in a trade with the LA Rams. They picked him up in a trade. So he's on the other side and a very accomplished pass rusher in his own right. So, I think that they are very, very good on the edges. So Taylor Lewan and Dennis Kelly is going to have to be on their toes on this one, especially Dennis Kelly. I think Lewan can handle Wake or Robert Quinn on his own. But as far as Dennis Kelly, you may have to have an extra back or tight end to help him on that side as far as blocking either Wake or Robert Quinn. Because I think what's going to happen with Gase and with the defensive coordinator, they're going to try to switch both of those guys onto Kelly's side. And they're really going to feel like they may have a favorable matchup with Dennis Kelly instead of Taylor Lewan. So we're definitely got to see with that. And then I expect to see a little bit of action from one Minkah Fitzpatrick coming into the game, maybe as a third safety or something like that. Right now, he is not slated as a starter on the depth chart, but he's going to probably get a lot of action throughout this season. This Dolphin team, they're expecting them to improve a little bit more, although they did lose Jarvis Landry in free agency to the Miami Dolphins, to the Cleveland Browns by trade. They also picked up Danny Amendola as well as Albert Wilson from the Kansas City Chiefs. So they did kind of regroup a little bit, even though Jay Ajayi got traded to the Philadelphia Eagles. They got Kenyon Drake in the backfield, and they got old man Frank Gore at running back as well. Frank Gore has done a little bit of damage against us in the past. So we have a lot that we have to be careful of in this game. First off, I'm going to say offensively, the most important matchup is going to be for the offense, Taylor Lewan and Dennis Kelly or Jack Conklin if he plays, which I doubt he plays, even though he did practice under a limited basis today. I think Kelly is probably going to go in this game. Against Cameron Wake and Robert Quinn, this is going to be a very important matchup because if you can find a way to neutralize these two guys, you have won half the battle against this defense. And now Marcus can sit back and pick this defense apart because I just don't really think they have anything good up the middle. Their linebackers are suspect with Jerome Baker, Raekwon McMillan, and Kiko Alonso. I think they're suspect. I think they're average, maybe below average at best with that. So, we're really going to have to see. Now, they do have a couple of decent corners on the outside in Xavier Howard and Bobby McCain. Memphis, Bobby McCain. I got to give it up for him. I'm proud of him for making it with the Miami Dolphins, but we're going to have to beat him this week. And, Rashad Jones is at safety, and, he did damage to us last year in a lot of different ways. With that Matt Castle fumble, thank God he ain't on the team no more, which ended up being a touchdown for Miami, which really swung the game in their favor. So we have a few things we got to look out for offensively. We need to get the ball out quick. We need to establish the running game, and the screen game is going to have to be very, very important. You want to play a good screen game against very quick maybe aggressive pass rushers. So that way they overrun the play, and then you can get out and block some of the smaller guys. I think the screen game is going to be very, very critical if the Titans are going to come away with a victory over the Miami Dolphins and have some success against this defense. And so now I want to go to the other side and see what the Titan defense can do. And one of the matchups that I'm going to be really looking at as far as this is concerned is the pass rush going after Ryan Tannehill. You know, I think it's going to be important. We got to get after Ryan Tannehill early. We got to get after him quickly and get him on his back. I think we could have a sack fest. Of course, the last time we faced Ryan Tannehill in Miami, we had a sack fest on him. We had Orakpo had 2 sacks. Casey had 2 sacks. I think Morgan had 2 sacks all on Ryan Tannehill. And I mean, it was a big time display by the Tennessee Titans on that day a couple of years ago. So hopefully we could get us back to that. And, you know, maybe we may even get Harold Landry in there because, you know, the injury report, finally an injury report came out. And what happened was everybody practiced except Kendrick Lewis, Jack Conklin, Derek Morgan, Rashaan Evans, Harold Landry were limited, but they did practice. So that's a very good thing. We're going to have to see how this goes on. I think if Harold Landry and Rashaan Evans maybe practices full participation, maybe within, you know, I would say at least on Friday. If they do full participation by Friday, I think they both play. They may not play a whole bunch right away, but right now we won't need them to. Now, the Houston game, I would hope to have happen to Corey Davis last year. They do not want him coming back too fast and then he re-injures it. So you definitely don't want that to happen. Yeah, I understand taking precautions. So that might be the best thing to do with that. But I want to see the Titan defensive line get a pass rush, get after Ryan Tannehill. Because if we could do that, that's going to turn into some interceptions for Butler, for Jackson, for Logan Ryan, for Kevin Byard, or Vaccaro. That's going to turn into some interceptions and turnovers, and that's going to be key in helping the Titans in a big victory. So I think the edge goes to us defensively. I think defensively we're better and more talented. I think offensively, I think we're more talented. You know, I know some people are actually picking Miami to win this game. I'm actually picking the Titans to win this game, and I'm going to go into my game predictions in just a moment, but I'm going to already give out my first one. I'm predicting the Titans defeating the Miami Dolphins in this game, and I'm going to go by a score of 24-6. I think that we could stymie the Dolphin defense and, you know, hold them to a couple of field goals. But I think we do just enough. I think Marcus throws a couple of touchdowns. I think Derrick Henry runs in for one, and I think the defense just holds them up. So I really like a 24-6 win over the Miami Dolphins to kick off the 2018 NFL season. I think the offense comes a little bit slowly, but I think they click late in the game. So that's what I think is going to happen in this particular game. And I will at least mention, you know, this is going to be Mike Vrabel's actual first game coaching. So we got to see how he does as a head coach in his first game. So that's going to be very important as well. And I see some stuff going on between my man Shane and Mama's boy. I can see that they're having a nice conversation within a conversation. You know, Shane saying that Marcus is not going to struggle. He's going to light teams up. And I'm like, I hope so. And Shane's asked me, what's your prediction for the season? I see us 12-4. I see us 12-4, and I think we'll start out strong. I'm actually going to get to that in just a minute, so I'm definitely going to see that. And he also asked, I said, what do you see as our biggest weakness coming into this season? Biggest weakness right now coming into this season, in my honest opinion, I think it's going to be the pass rush. I got to see a consistent pass rush. We know Brian Orakpo is getting up there in age. We know Derek Morgan hasn't always been able to stay completely healthy. Right now, Harold Landry has that high ankle sprain right now, so they're bringing him along slowly. You got Aaron Wallace. Sharif Finch had a little bit of an injury, but I think he fully participated. He may be able to make an impact. And then and I'm forgetting one other guy, Kamale Correa. I forgot about him. We got to see what kind of impact he's going to make. So right now, I don't know if it's necessarily a weakness, but it's an unknown. Just like the wide receivers are an unknown. We're going to definitely have to find out if we can get a good pass rush, our secondary is going to have a field day on some offenses. Offenses are not going to be able to do a lot of throwing on our defense if we have a consistent pass rush. So I think that is something that could be a weakness, but I think could turn into a strength later. So we got to, like I said earlier, we got to get out to Tannehill, and that could be a good start with that. Of course, Mama Boy is saying 5-11. We'll start off 0-4, 1-3 at best. Shaolin, fantastic. What's up with you? We got to get to Tannehill. We are the better team. I like that. Shane's going with a prediction of 41-10. I mean, that's a pretty bold hot take right there. I don't know if they'll score 40 points in this one because I think the offense will start off a little slowly, but I think it'll click going later into the game. So I think we'll definitely have to see that. Shaolin saying a 2-score game. I like that. K True is asking, let's see, Marcus wouldn't even ask for that much. He would rather bring in a bona fide top wide receiver if given the chance, but a bottom tier team will do 100 plus though. And that is absolutely right. I mean, yeah, Marcus is probably going to be, the market probably demands a big one, but I agree. Marcus is a very unselfish player. He may take a hometown discount saying, hey, you know what? Instead of paying me $30 million a year, maybe pay me $20 million, take that extra $10 million, and hey, you can either get me a top flight guard or center, or, if we need help on a defense, get me a top flight middle linebacker or pass rusher or something like that. You can help me out with that. So, I mean, yeah, I can see that happening, but again, we're going to find out this year if he really does deserve that money. So we're definitely going to find out. He's going to get paid regardless, but we're going to see how much he is really worth this year coming up. Let's see. Fantastic. Delaney Walker scores a couple of touchdowns. I don't know in this game, but I think he may get one of them. But I think Delaney Walker could have a very good season. I think he's going to be very effective. He's going to be a guy Marcus looks too early in this year, and then probably goes to Corey Davis late. So I definitely think Delaney Walker is going to have a big part. And even if they try to tie him up, that's going to open up a lot of things for a lot of other people. Dion Lewis, Corey Davis, Rashard Matthews, Taywan Taylor could play a big part in this. So we're definitely going to see what happens with this. K True saying, I see around 3,300 yards, 27 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, including a red zone interception, 5 rushing touchdowns, and 500 yards. Now, remember, y'all, Marcus Mariota still, if my memory serves me correctly, Marcus Mariota still has yet to throw a red zone interception. He has not thrown one yet. So that is a very good thing to go on. So I think if you get in the red zone, he's money. So I think that could be very, very beneficial. But with Marcus, I think he's going to go about 3,600 yards, and I think he could get right at about the 30 touchdown mark. And I'm going to say 30 touchdowns, 10 interceptions for Marcus, which will be much better, which will be 17 more touchdowns and 5 less interceptions, in my honest opinion. Shane thinks he's going to hit 4,000. I don't know if he'll hit 4,000 yet, but I think he could hit 3,600. I think he'll hit a career high in passing yards, in my honest opinion. Let's see. I'm looking at 4 others. I can't name 5 teams where he would be an upgrade at quarterback. I'm sorry, Mama's boy. I can name at least 5 teams that could use him as an upgraded quarterback. Ask Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Even though they got Jameis Winston with all the stuff going on with his shenanigans, you think they ain't looking back at the 2015 draft thinking, Dad, we should have took Mariota #1. That's one right there. I would have said Cleveland, but they got Baker Mayfield with Tyrod Taylor. So, they may not need a fixing right there. The Baltimore Ravens could use an upgrade. Joe Flacco ain't getting no younger, and Lamar Jackson, I don't know if he's going to be any good. So, we got to see with that. So that's 2 teams right there. Buffalo, a 3rd team that could use an upgraded quarterback. They're going to start. They are going to start Nathan Peterman in their first game as the starting quarterback, not Josh Allen, and they traded away A.J. McCarron. You don't think Buffalo needs an upgrade? So that's 3 teams right there. Let's stay in the division. The Jacksonville Jaguars. Blake Bortles stinks, which is why I got something coming up for y'all in the game prediction. And I'm telling you, because of Blake Bortles, which is why I'm thinking the way that I'm thinking with this. So that's 4 teams right there off the top of my head, and I haven't even gotten started yet. And as far as a 5th team is concerned, you got, I would say, a 5th team out there could be, could be Arizona, even though they got Josh Rosen and Sam Bradford. Are you sure Sam Bradford's going to stay healthy? And is Josh Rosen ready to take that next step? In Miami, hey, even though they pay Ryan Tannehill, Marcus Mariota could be better than Ryan Tannehill. We're going to find out Sunday, definitely with that. So I just named off 5-6 teams right off the top of my head that can use an upgrade. Denver is another one. They got Case Keenum at quarterback. Even though Keenum led the Vikings to the playoffs last year, let's be perfectly honest. They could use another quarterback. So, bang, right there. Shaolin Fantastic saying the Giants. The Giants. Eli Manning, he's coming in on his last couple of years. So, they could use a backup because they just cut a quarterback that they drafted in Davis Webb last year. They cut him. So, the Giants could use a backup, could use a quarterback for the future. So, we're going to definitely see what happens there. Let's see. Shaolin saying if Derrick Henry can hit 900 touchdowns, we'll be fine. I'm thinking he meant to say 900 rushing yards, which I think if Henry gets going, he's going to be very difficult to stop. Definitely. So Shane's saying I can name 12 teams. And so I just named 6-7 teams off the top of my head. So Mama Boy said all the teams you name wouldn't realistically target Marcus. They have young quarterbacks they're waiting on. I don't know about that. Let's think about, let's quickly think about this, and we got to get back on topic. Tampa Bay, besides Jameis Winston, they got Ryan Fitzpatrick. You don't think and think about the shenanigans. Jameis Winston is suspended for the first 4 games of the year. And he has a tendency to be wild and erratic with the football. And with character alone, you don't think they hadn't thought about the fact that they probably should have picked Marcus at #1? You hadn't thought about that? The Browns. Yes, they got Tyrod Taylor and Baker Mayfield, but before then, Hugh Jackson would have loved Marcus Mariota before this year. So, that's another one. And like I said, the Bills, come on. The Bills would die to have Marcus Mariota as their quarterback. They got, like I said earlier, I just said it. They have Nathan freaking Peterman is their week 1 starting quarterback. The Bills are going to suck. And I'm going to go ahead and give out a spoiler alert. The Titans are going to kick the floor with the Buffalo Bills. The Bills are going to suck this year. It is easy. And like I said, watch this game on Sunday. If Mariota is better than Tannehill, bang. Mama Boy, I'm going to need you to come back and tell me I was right. Tell me I was right. There are a lot of teams that could use a Marcus Mariota. K-Truth is saying the Bills, the Pats, the Dolphins. Chargers, Broncos, Bengals. Now, Patriots and Chargers, I don't think that would be realistic just yet because, you know, they have Hall of Fame quarterbacks, but I know what he's saying, talking about prepping for the future, prepping for the future. Hey, if Marcus became available, shoot, the Chargers would cut Phillip Rivers and Tom Brady right now and tell them to retire to go get Marcus. Broncos, like I said, Case Keenum is something. And the Bengals is a very interesting pickup too because, Andy Dalton isn't exactly great. He's average at best. Average at best. He still ain't won him a playoff game yet. Of course, my guys at Titans Tube saying Marcus Mariota will be fine. Shaolin saying this will be the perfect game for Mariota. Titans Tube, I think James' suspension is only 3 games. I thought it was 4 games. It may have been 3. So you guys might be right on that. I'm actually going to quickly look and confirm. Let me make sure I got that correct right there. Let's see. K-True says James is gone for 3, but might not play game 4. Trying to Nathan Peterman is the future. I really like y'all confidence in that one, but that would be crazy. Donnie Maxey's right. They would love Marcus. I think they would love Marcus. Donald is saying way better than Tannehill. Titans too. Marcus Mariota way better than Tannehill. Donald, thank you for the love, man. I appreciate that very much. Taitu bet Tannehill doesn't even finish the year as Dolphins starter. I don't know who they have behind him as a starter. I want to say it's Matt Moore still available. I'm not sure who's behind Tannehill as far as the back. Oh, I take that back. They got Nick Foles, Brock Osweiler, and Luke Falk behind him. Doesn't exactly inspire a lot of confidence, if you ask me. So, that is that doesn't exactly inspire a lot of confidence with the guys behind them. So, there's a lot of teams that would be glad to have Marcus Mariota, but John Robinson ain't letting Marcus Mariota go. So they ain't going nowhere. And let me tell you something. And thank you, Mama's Boy, for that. I appreciate that. I know, hey, we can agree to disagree, but I appreciate you. Come on back in. And make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Subscribe and spread the word because I want a bigger audience too. I want a lot of people on here with that. So we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to keep it live. I'm going to try to go live every week as much as I can. And we're definitely going to have some stuff going on with that. And let's see. Okay, you know what, Titan 2? Y'all are absolutely right. It is 3 games, not 4. So I stand corrected. It was 3 game suspension on that. So I appreciate y'all straightening me out on that. And so, again, that's what I think is going to happen. And I'm with Titans 2. They got Luke Falk, but they're probably going to cut him after week 1. They just got him because they wanted to see what we're going to do. They try to see if they could divulge some secrets. And, of course, Mike Vrabel even said in his press conference today that Matt LaFleur held some stuff back. So, they were very, very vanilla. They did not even really bring out the big stuff of the playbook because they didn't want what happened to actually happen where a guy goes to another team and then tries to divulge the secrets of our offense to another team. So Luke Falk getting picked up was a perfect example of that. He could have tried to divulge some secrets to Miami, but he didn't exactly execute the offense very well, so they'd be foolish just to listen to him on that. I know they could probably take some advice from him saying, hey, they'll do this, they'll do that, or something like that, but we were very vanilla during the regular season, so I wouldn't take much stock into what Luke Falk is really saying right now. So, and before now, I'm going to go ahead and get into my game predictions and stuff like that, and then I have a big announcement to end the show as well. Let's see. Mama Boy said, love the show. No disrespect. Just fans with different opinions. Hey, like I said, that is all right. That is all right. We all can agree to disagree, but at the end, we all tighten up together. That's the best thing that we can do. Donald saying they will see the whole can of whoop. whoop ass Sunday. I hope so. I think that I would really like to see that, and I will enjoy seeing that as well. So let's get to my game by game predictions. And what I'm going to be doing, I was originally going to do it as far as win, loss, and score. But I think I'm just going to do win loss right now. But for each game, I'm going to have score predictions for each game. So you'll definitely hear me when I give actual scores and maybe spreads of the game. But here we're going to quickly run through the score to the predictions. Week 1 at the Miami Dolphins. For week 1, as I said, victory 24-6. I think the Titans start off 1-0. Week 2, we bring in the Houston Texans. They got Deshaun Watson back, J.J. Watt back, Whitney Merciless is back. And the Titans have not had very much luck in their home openers the last few years. They lost to the Minnesota Vikings to open the year. Then they lost to the Oakland Raiders last year to open the season. And unfortunately, I think it's going to be deja vu all over again. I think they lose their 3rd straight home opener, losing to the Houston Texans to fall to 1-1. Week 3 at Jacksonville. I know a lot of experts out there are probably going to go all over picking the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm picking the Titans to win this game. We went down there to Jacksonville last year against this so-called vaunted defense and beat the ever-loving stew out of them. And we beat them down before. I think we could do it again. I think we'll beat the Jaguars, go to 2-1 on the season. Week 4, we welcome in the defending world champion Philadelphia Eagles into Nissan Stadium. And unfortunately, I think we're going to lose that game to the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, that might change for me, depending on how the first 3 games go. But I think we lose to the Philadelphia Eagles. I think the Philadelphia Eagles right now on paper are just too good. Carson Wentz may be back for that game. And then, they have that very good defense. And we don't know if Alshon Jeffrey will be available for that. That could be a difference. But as of right now, I have the Eagles winning that game. I have the Eagles winning that game. Right now, we are at 2-2 after the first quarter of the season. Now going into week 5 at Buffalo. Like I said before, I think the Titans go to Buffalo and crush the Buffalo Bills unless it is a blizzard by this time. But it's week 5, which I think is still in September, which will be September, maybe early October, which will be yes, that'll be right. It'll be late September, early October. I don't think the snow will be in yet. I think the Titans go in and crush the Bills. They'll win, go to 3-2. Then we come home with the Baltimore Ravens. And, of course, we beat the Ravens last year. I think we beat them again this year. So we win 2 in a row to go to 4-2 after week 6. Then we take our first ever trip to London to play those pesky Los Angeles Chargers. And the Chargers have given us trouble in the past, but I think we finally break through the cocoon, and I think we beat the Los Angeles Chargers, even though the Chargers are very good. They have Melvin Gordon, they have Phillip Rivers, Antonio Gates is back, Joey Bosa, Melvin Ingram on the other side. They got a lot of talent, but I think we're going to be starting to roll at this point. I think our offense will start to click, and I see us having a victory there. So at this point, we are 5-2 at this point, going into our bye week, coming back from London. And I think that'll be a much well-deserved rest. So after London, we get 15 days until our next game, which will be a Monday night game down in the Big D against the Dallas Cowgirls. So on Monday night, so we bring in a 5-2 record, a 3-game winning streak into Monday night in front of a national audience. And I think we beat the Cowboys in this game. So I think we go 4 in a row because, honestly enough, if you shut down Ezekiel Elliott, you shut down the Dallas Cowboys. Now, they do have the number 1 offensive line in the league. That's not going to be easy to go up against, but I think we'll be hitting our stride. Dean Pease is going to try to confuse Dak Prescott, and I think that could lead to some trouble. No Jason Witten, no Dez Bryant for the Cowboys now. I think the Titans have a very good chance to go down to Dallas, beat the Cowboys, and come back 6-2 after week 9. Then we go into our murderer's row, our very tough stretch of games. We got week 10 with New England. Unfortunately, I think our winning streak ends here. We fall to 6-3 with a loss to the New England Patriots. We go to Indy for week 11. Hopefully, Andrew Luck, and I'm not trying to wish injury on anybody, but hopefully Andrew Luck maybe, twist an ankle or something like that, or, maybe hurts a wrist and he ain't able to go in that game. Because if he plays, he could be a major difference factor for the Colts. But I have the Titans losing on the road to the Indianapolis Colts. So they would fall 6-2. They'll be 6-4 at this point. And so now they've lost 2 in a row. They're 6-4 on the year. Monday night in Houston, we get another tilt with Deshaun Watson. I think we get revenge, not only for the loss earlier this season, earlier in the year in week 2 at home, but I know for a fact the Titans, if they see Deshaun Watson, and it probably will happen in both meetings, but especially this one on Monday night, they're going to want revenge for that embarrassment from last season when they got embarrassed 57-14 last year. The Texans are not going to put up 50 points on the Titans at all. And I think they go into Monday night, they get back on the winning ways with a victory over the Houston Texans to go to 7-4 on the year after week 12. And I think the Titans get on a little bit of a roll again. Next would be home against the New York Jets, the football Jets. I'm not sure what's happening with this Jet team. Sam Darnold will be better, could get better, but I think the Titans will win. They win that game, go to 8-4 on the year. Then Jacksonville for Thursday Night Football right here at home. We remember the last time we played Jacksonville on Thursday night. We kicked the snot out of them, and I think we beat them again and sweep Jacksonville. That makes us 9-4 on the season with a victory there. Now, at this point, 9-4, we're looking good, but I know we're going to slip up somewhere at the end, kind of like last year, which I think, unfortunately, it could happen in Manhattan with the New York Football Giants losing that game. Now, the only reason I see us losing that game because I think we'll slip up at some point. We're going to be riding high, and it will slip up for just a quick bit, but it will be a lesson learned going into the playoffs. We could be in good shape, trying to protect some guys. Eli is still very good. You got OBJ on the other side. They still have a very good group of players, and Saquon Barkley could be very good as well. So that's why I think we slip up against the Giants. And then week 16 and week 17, I see us beating the Washington Redskins, and I see us taking down Andrew Luck and the Indianapolis Colts at the end. I have us finishing 11-5, division champs of the AFC South. I have us going into the playoffs, beating the Ravens in the first round in our first ever home playoff game. And I have us going up to Pittsburgh, beating Pittsburgh. And then I have us, unfortunately, losing to the New England Patriots in the AFC Championship game. So that's as far as I think we go. Now, again, I would love to see us beat the Patriots and get to the Super Bowl, which could very well happen. Hey, we remember 20 years ago, almost 20 years ago, we did the same thing. The Super Bowl think about this. The Super Bowl this year, if I'm not mistaken, is in Atlanta. Who was in the Super Bowl 20 years ago? In Atlanta, that would be us against the Rams when they were the St. Louis Rams. What would you think if that happened again? The LA Rams, Tennessee Titans in the Super Bowl. That would be an incredible omen if that has happened. And you know how they say history does tend to repeat itself. 20 years after the Titans and Rams were in the Super Bowl, how crazy would it be if the Super Bowl happens again in Atlanta, Titans, Rams? I could very well see that happening. So we're going to find out if the Titans could be a team of destiny and could go back to the Super Bowl 20 years later in Atlanta, and this time finish the job and hold up that Lombardi trophy. Now, if that happens, I will personally come on Titans and Truth and apologize to Mike Vrabel personally if that happens. But we're going to see about that. But again, 11-5 division champions. I have us losing in the AFC Championship game, but I do hope I am wrong on that. So now, let me go back. I'm just going to read a couple comments before we get to our final quick topic. Before we get out of here, of course, K-True said, I think Texans get clowny faced again. K-True said, my losses are Eagles, Patriots, Chargers, and Texans, Jags split. I can definitely understand that. He says 11-5. Titans tube, of course, asking K-True, you think we'll sweep Luck and the Colts? I think we sweep the Jags, split with the Colts and the Texans, in my honest opinion. Titans tube, I think Justin, we're going to that Monday night game. Okay, that's what's up. I've heard some people are talking about going to the Monday night game against Dallas. It depends if I get time off. If I get the time off, I will definitely see about going. I wouldn't mind going down to Dallas to see the Titans get a win there. That would be crazy. Shane says, Titan 2, I think we will sweep the Colts and the Jags with that. So I think some people are thinking that we'll sweep the Colts. Some people think we'll split with the Jags. K2 said our defense was crap for most of these years since 2012, but I think that's going to change now. K2 said we need to get back to ATL against, yes, Rams, 2/3/19. That's his daughter's birthday. That would be a lovely birthday present for your daughter. I agree with that. And them and a team wearing white will win against us. I could definitely see about that. But that's just some of my thoughts on that. And I definitely hope that does happen. But, I've been running for almost an hour now. And so I hope I apologize if I've been long-winded with everybody. But I appreciate y'all tuning in with me and everything with that. But before I do get out of here, just two quick announcements. Number one, be tuning in to at least Facebook Live. Titans and Truth will be on the road. We'll be on the road this Sunday. The Titans facing the Miami Dolphins. I'm actually going to be in Memphis that weekend. So I will be at Flavor House. That is the headquarters of the Titans and Truth fan club of Memphis, Tennessee. So to my guy, LG, Larry Garman, my frat brother, Blue Phi, to my ladies, Miss Cassidy, Miss Connie, Mr. Dell Burnett, a very big supporter of Titans and Truth. Y'all know who he is because they have the big bowling tournaments that they have down there against other fan clubs, and they are very, very good bowlers down there in the Titan fan club. So shout out to the defending bowling champions down there. And so I'm going to try to go live on Facebook Live with a pre and post game from Flavor House this Sunday. So I will probably be going live about 11 a.m., maybe about 11:15 a.m. before kickoff, a quick maybe 15 to 30 minutes talking about the kickoff of the game for the season. And then I'm going to come back and do maybe a quick 15 to 30 minutes after the game is over. I'm going to definitely try to have some of the fans in the background with me. I'll probably see if I can have the president of the fan club, my man Larry Garman, sit down with me as well. And may also get the owner of Flavor House on the show as well. So I'm going to try to see if I can go YouTube live from Flavor House. But if all else fails, I will be recording on the computer. But I will also go Facebook Live pre and post game at Flavor House. So be looking forward to that this Sunday about 11 a.m., about 11:15 a.m. at the latest. This Sunday, I go live. So Facebook Live, if you're not on the Titans of Truth, the TNT Enforcers page, get on there because I'm exclusively going to be on that page going live. It will not be on my personal page. It'll be on the TNT Enforcers page. So get on there. And I'll be putting a little bit of information out there on Instagram as well as Twitter. So get up with me on that. Okay. So I'm looking forward to it again. 11 a.m. live from Flavor House this Sunday in Memphis, Tennessee. The Titans the Memphis, Tennessee Titans fan club headquarters. That's where I'm going to be. And then also the post-game show immediately following the conclusion of the Titans and Dolphins game. Once that is over, I'm going to go on there. So, and before I do get out of here, I want to quickly mention this thing, and this is just my opinion. This has nothing to do with Titans and Truth. This is just Chris Newell's opinion. For everybody out there that's talking about Nike, I know this is a very controversial subject. You know, me personally, I'm not a Colin Kaepernick fan. You know, I'm not trying to get political because that's not what this show is about. But I'm just quickly saying, hey, look, y'all. If you got Nike gear and you're not exactly a fan of what Nike decided to do, you know, I definitely understand. You may not be a fan of that decision or whatever with that, but don't be doing all this censoring, burning of apparel and stuff like that. I just think that is stupid and ridiculous and idiotic, in my honest opinion. You know, Nike is a multi-billion-dollar corporation. They're not going to really care if you burn the apparel or not. You spent money on that. And more than that, they're still going to make money, whether they're Colin Kaepernick or not. So this whole thing out here, a lot of people talk about they're burning their apparel and stuff like burning the Nike stuff and things like that. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Let me tell you something. Perfect example. This is my Marcus Mariota jersey. Think about this. Nike. This is a Nike jersey. Do you think for 1 second I'm going to burn that after I got that as a gift? Somebody paid for that for me. Somebody probably paid $70, $80, $90, $100 for that jersey. I'm not going to burn that. I'm not going to burn it or anything like that. I got some red and black Nike shoes. I love wearing them. I'm not going to burn them just because. I'm not going to burn that. That would make no sense. Even if I was against what Nike was doing, I'm not going to burn it. You know what? If you're not a fan of that, and I understand if you're not a fan of that, here's what you can do. And a lot of people have said this on Facebook, and I agree with it. Take your Nike apparel, any apparel, and donate it. Give it to Goodwill. Take it to the homeless shelter. Give it to the many homeless out there. I'm sure any of them will be glad to have some extra clothes or something like that. I think that would be better if you decided to do that instead of just burning the apparel. I mean, that is idiotic if you do that. You got some Air Maxes that were costing over $100 and you're burning them. You realize how expensive some of these shoes are? There are some Nike shoes out there right now that are like $150, $170. I'm not going to burn that. You paid money for those. So don't do that, everybody. Don't do that. If you don't want to support Nike, donate your stuff to Goodwill or to the homeless or give it to somebody in need. Heck, hey, you can pass it to me. I wear 3X shirts right now. In shoes, I wear a size 12. And in pants, right now, I'm about a 40 waist. I'm trying to come down. If y'all want to donate to me, I'll be glad to take some Nike apparel off your hands. Absolutely. That, or I know some people that can have it. So that's all I'm trying to say about that. I was kind of being funny with it, but, you know, that's just my opinion. That is not the opinion of Titans and Truth. That's just my opinion. Had nothing to do with the show whatsoever. But everybody, I know I've been running an hour. I've probably been talking your head off. Thank y'all, everybody, for tuning in to Titans and Truth. And as y'all see the end screen coming out, you look this way, you can see the latest episode. You look this way, subscribe to the channel, or go to the website. So everybody, thank y'all for tuning in. My name is Chris. Hit up at Titans_N_Truth on Instagram, TNT Enforcers on Facebook, at TNT Enforcer on Twitter. And I will be seeing y'all on Sunday, getting ready for the kickoff of week 1.